be snubbed by industry, quote, professionals because it doesn't push the politics that they want. And last year during award season, we saw Hogwarts Legacy be completely ignored because these activists hate J.K. Rowling's existence, and now the same thing is already starting with Black Myth Wukong. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I personally do not take the industry awards seriously. I love playing an amazing video game and it getting the recognition it deserves, but unfortunately, those within the industry are completely biased. They are activists who do not care about genuinely good entertainment or having the opinion that most gamers have. They simply care about giving awards to the products that push the narratives they believe most strongly in. And that is what has happened over the past couple of years. And unfortunately, it only seems to be getting worse. So last year during the award season, Hogwarts Legacy was snubbed at almost every major event because of J.K. Rowling. Even though she did not touch Hogwarts Legacy, she didn't help write it, she didn't get to, see it early. She had no idea the inner workings of the game. We do know that she clearly had to sign paperwork for it, and it's her property. So that was enough for the mainstream to completely snub it because they hate her existence and they hate her opinions, which of course is always sad because she just has her own take, and if you don't like it, that's fine, but that does not affect the world of Harry Potter, the wizarding world in totality. And Hogwarts Legacy was an amazing game that deserved a hell of a lot of attention, but it got snubbed. It did not win any awards. It wasn't even nominated at things like the Game Awards, which was insane because it truly was a fantastic experience. But now we know that going into the 2024 award season, things are not looking any better for some of the best video games to release this year, like Stellar Blade and Space Marine 2, but also Black Myth Wukong, all games that have had some level of controversy behind them. More specifically, Stellar Blade was a title that infuriated the mainstream media because of its depictions of women. They were talking about how, women are objectified and it appeals to the male fantasy, which is ridiculous. And I say this all the time because female characters or characters in totality can't be objectified because they're already objects. They're fictional. They're not real. And of course, they were furious that Stellar Blade appealed to the male gaze, even though it has a absolutely gorgeous soundtrack, super smooth combat, amazing visuals, and was a fantastic experience. But then you also have Black Myth Wukong, which truly is such a great experience, from the story, the journey to the West, from the, music and how unique it is, but how fitting it is and how the music itself tells a story. At the end of each chapter, it's basically an anime. It is just such a well-crafted experience, but we know that the mainstream media hates Black Myth Wukong, and last year, back in November, we actually saw IGN put out a hit piece on Game Science saying that, the developers are sexist, and the founders of Game Science are sexist, and you shouldn't want to support a company like this, which in my opinion was absurd. When I sit here and tell you guys about movies or creatives, I'm never telling you to not buy something, because if you want to buy something, you're an adult who can do what you want with your own money. I'm simply trying to sit here and give you the information, and you can do with it what you will, right? But these people constantly try to tell you what to do with your money and who you should or should not support, which is absurd, in my opinion. You're not children. You can do whatever you want. And for me, I don't mind playing a video game just because, the mainstream tells me not to. They constantly love to say that they know more about a situation than you, even though they're releasing mistranslated articles to try to push their point when these people have absolutely no clue what they are talking about. They don't know what makes a video game good because they really don't play video games. But now we're seeing the Golden Joystick Awards closing their voting. They're saying the winners will be revealed on November 10th, but Black Myth Wukong and, of course, Stellar Blade were not even nominated for Game of the Year. They were not nominated in any categories. It's like they're completely ignoring their existence, like what happened with Hogwarts Legacy last year. And I don't think that this is going to change even in the coming years. Whenever a video game releases that has any level of controversy behind it that they do not support, they are going to ignore it. Now, of course, if it's an Assassin's Creed Shadows, they're going to promote the hell out of it because it pushes the narratives that they want pushed within our entertainment, which is just disgusting, at least in my opinion. And it just goes to show that you cannot trust any of these companies, any of these activists, and they are not looking out for you. They do not represent you. They are only looking at themselves and what they want and what's going to fill their pockets because it's more beneficial for them monetarily to snub something like Black Myth Wukong. So one of their, games that pushes a narrative can win because, let's be honest, I don't trust these people, and it would not surprise me if these, groups, in this case, the Golden Joysticks, were actually being paid by companies in regards to who wins. So this isn't very shocking to see that a game like Black Myth Wukong is getting snubbed, though it's really not surprising, and a lot of other people are saying the same thing, saying this is just very sad to me. Like, the hypocrisy and bias is staggering. They haven't even given Stellar Blade a nominee for Best Soundtrack. It had the best soundtrack of this year by far, which I totally and completely agree. It's a DEI award. Monkey is not. Still think the progressive woke Westerners are anything other than woke racists. Talking about how, watching the Game Awards is a waste of time. If the game doesn't have their agenda, it will never find a way to be on stage, which is very true. So that's why a lot of people do not waste their times with these Game Awards anymore, and I totally and completely understand that. And it is very disappointing for this to happen time again, because I simply want these games to be nominated. I'm not saying they have to win, but it's at least good to have the best games of the year be nominated. Like last year, Hogwarts Legacy certainly deserved it. Stellar Blade and Wukong certainly deserve it this year, but their bias and their agenda is on full display, and Black Myth Wukong, of course, was not nominated for Game of the Year by the Golden Joystick Awards. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.